Sports Day is brought to you by Barton Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I think we kind of let the atmosphere kind of, put us in a funk a little bit, but we had times where we were really good, but then we had times where we weren't very good. But that's kind of, we've been kind of doing that, and we need to fix that. You want to be playing your best basketball towards the end of the season, so that was something we talked about.
It's kind of hard, we just need to get together, and whenever we go to active or warm up, we got to be blocking. So that's what we did.
Down to 13 on the shot clock, 1:38 on the game clock. Cyclones a 7-point lead. Lipsy has the ball out high, gets a screen, good pass to Momcilovic, an open three. Yes, sir, right there. A huge three for Milan, and the Cyclones lead it by 10.
We practiced that way. We're on the road, and we had to prepare for this. And I was prepared, and my teammates, they kept me positive while I was on the bench.
Nothing happened. We talked about a situation that took place during the game, and he said he would check into it, and I told him thank you and went on. I love TJ. Great job. Great. What an unbelievable environment.
They're waiting again. Never mind the fact that the guy on the other side has ruled a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL not named Tom Brady during his playoff run and during his run in Kansas City. But if Lamar Jackson wins and they beat Kansas City and they get to the Super Bowl, it would be the best shut your mouth from my standpoint for Lamar Jackson.
This is the best thing that could have happened to Justin Herbert in his career, because you have a guy in Jim Harbaugh that understands how to build a culture. He's had success instantly in the National Football League. He's had success building at the University of Michigan.
Harbaugh built this thing. They're going to go to Sharon Moore. Sharon Moore led Michigan's offensive line to back-to-back Joe Moore award-winning seasons. He called 2 unbelievable games this year as the head coach and play caller against Penn State. If Sharon Moore is promoted head coach, you keep the very good high-end nucleus.
And welcome to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM, the talk of the town. Welcome in. It is the Thursday AM Great Bend Show. Steve Webster in a lonely studio today. No Mike Hesher, no Mike Corson, and no Aaron Clark. Aaron Clark's sick. Mike Corson's at a school board luncheon today, although he'll be back for Panther on the Prowl with Mike Corson. He'll be talking with Great Bend swim coach Kerry Carper. But here with me, Landon Winkler. Always there. Hey, it's a little bit more peaceful in here today, Landon. I think this is kind of nice.
Yeah, you can actually talk about something without getting sidetracked.
That does happen here a lot on the program. Hey, on the show today, we're going to talk Panther basketball. Yeah, big rivalry game tomorrow night. Great Bend goes to Hayes, second time this week. Panther boys and girls went up there on Tuesday, took care of business at TMP with easy wins over the TMP Monarchs. But now it's the Hayes High Indians, significant. It's early in the conference race, but it's only an 8-game conference season. So on the boys' side, Hayes is out to a 2-0 start, and they're just 6-5 overall. They went 2-1 at the Orange and Black Classic last week in Colby, but their lone loss was to Goodland, who's basically 2-0 in the WAC, although they're not in the league. Great Bend Panthers are 0-1 in conference play. They are 9-4 overall. 7 games left in the regular season. All of them will be against WAC opponents. Garden City sits at 1-1 in the standings. Dodge City's 1-0, and then Liberal is 0-2. Lady Panthers also kind of in the same boat. They're 1-0. It's a big conference game. It's not over if they don't win, but Hayes High's off to a 2-0 start. They're 6-5 overall. Lady Panthers, though, ranked 9th in 5A this week. They are 10-3 overall. So good high school basketball, and we'll be talking about it with Kyle Cree today. He'll be in studio, joined by longtime assistant coach Dale Kuhlman. So we'll get a preview. Also talk about that game at TMP on Tuesday and the Salina Invitational that was the Panthers took third in last week. Lady Panthers finishing second in that same tournament. Okay, college basketball last night. The call on Learfield, John Walters, as Milan Momcilovic makes a three-pointer in the second half. Number 23 Iowa State beats K-State in Ames 78-67. Momcilovic had 19 points. Iowa State ranked 23rd and they survived that game against K-State. Keyshawn Gilbert added 15, grabbed 13 rebounds for the Cyclones, who improved to 15-4, 4-2 in the Big 12. And Iowa State now 12-0 at home this season. Arthur Kaluman led K-State with 16 points. Cats slipped from the top of the conference standings. They're now 4-2 in league play and 14-5 overall. Cam Carter picking up 2 early fouls. He spent most of the first half on the bench. That didn't help K-State's efforts any. K-State, though, tried to battle back as they got it. Never could take the lead, get over the hump, and Iowa State gets the win. Jerome Tang and Iowa State coach T.J. Oldenburger, well, appeared to have a heated exchange during the second half. Prolonged discussion during the post-game handshake line. Jerome Tang asked about it after the game. Said, no, nothing's going on. Nothing's going on. I like you don't air dirty laundry. Obviously, there was something going on between the two. At the end of the game, Jerome Tang also had a technical with about 2 minutes to go. So K-State doesn't get the win. This Big 12 race looks crazy. Here's your standings. Texas Tech's on top. They are 4-1 in conference play. Then you have Houston, KU, Iowa State, Kansas State, all at 4-2. Baylor's 3-2. Then you have Oklahoma, TCU, Texas, and Central Florida all at 3-3. Then you got BYU, Cincinnati, West Virginia at 2-4. Oklahoma's 0-6. Conference play over until Saturday, and K-State will have a tough one on the road. It's an early start, 11 a.m. It'll be on ESPN. K-State going against number 4 ranked Houston on the road. Meanwhile, Kansas doesn't have anything easier. They have a 12:30 tip. Where? Oh, yeah, Hilton Coliseum. They'll be taking on those Iowa State Cyclones. Other games on Saturday, Texas Tech taking on Oklahoma. It's Texas against BYU. West Virginia at Oklahoma State. TCU is at Baylor, and UCF is at Cincinnati. Also last night, East Carolina beat Wichita State 54-52. So 8 straight losses for the Shockers. They're now 0-6 in league play. You heard Jeremy Combs, head coach of the 3rd-ranked Barton Cougars. They went on the road last night, picked up a win at Independence. Indy hadn't won a conference game coming in, and it's nice, as Jeremy Combs, I guess, described. He thought they came out flat. Independence used to be one of the most electric environments in the Jayhawk Conference. That's a long time ago. That's when Bob Cavista was down there, and they were contending and winning for national championships. But it was it was like playing in a big empty mall last night. But it's nice to go out and play bad and still come out and win 83-56. That's what the Cougars did. So they keep pace with Cowley. Cowley went to Goodland last night. Always a dangerous game out there. And the Tigers picked up an 84-70 win. So Barton and Cowley still tied for first, 12-1 in league play. Barton's 18-1. Cowley is 17-2 overall. Cowley's ranked 12th. Hutchinson ranked 19th. They stayed in the race last night. They beat Dodge City at the Sports Arena 107-72. So Hutchinson now 11-2, a game behind Barton and Cowley. Hutch is 16-3. Butler's in 4th. They had the night off. They're 9-3. Cloud County then comes in at 5th. They are 9-4. And Cloud County got a close win last night over Seward, 73-71. Kuzia Bertoni talking about having to make that 3.5-hour drive to Independence and play a basketball game. Lady Cougars got it done last night as they picked up a 69-49 win over the Independence women, who are playing better than the men. They'd won 3 of 4, but they lost. They're now 5-8 in league play. And Bertoni and the Lady Cougars get it done. So they're now 9-4 in conference play, 14-5 overall. Lady Cougars in 4th place, a half game behind 18th-ranked Butler, who had last night off. Butler's 9-3, 15-3 overall. Hutchinson ranked 4th in the country. They're still undefeated as they improved to 13-0 last night. Hutchinson, in a battle of ranked teams at the Sports Arena, top 2 teams in the standings in the Jayhawk, they beat 12th-ranked Dodge City 82-77 last night. So Hutch, they're in pretty good shape to win the league title, although it is a long conference season. But Hutch 19-0 now, 13-0 in league play. Dodge City 10-3, 16-3. They're in 2nd, and they've got a half-game lead over Butler, for third, and Barton would be basically a game out of second place right now. All right, football news yesterday. As well, I think it was pretty much determined that Jim Harbaugh wasn't going to be the head coach at Michigan, and they made it official yesterday as he's going to be the new head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers. My. Don't we have some coaching pedigrees for teams in the AFC West? You have Andy Reid. Now you have Jim Harbaugh. In San Diego, Harry Douglas, ESPN football analyst, saying this is the best thing for Justin Herbert. So, yeah, the coaching fraternity and coaching quality in the AFC West, pretty good right now. Harbaugh skipping out of Michigan after they won the national championship this year. And then, of course, the big question, okay, what happens now? Well, offensive coordinator Sharon Moore got plenty of opportunities this year with Harbaugh suspended for the final 3 games of the regular season. He would be the guy probably to get it. Pete Thamel, ESPN college football reporter, said it makes sense. He could keep the nucleus that they have coming back. They've got defensive linemen. They've got number 1 potential pick here next year as in the secondary. And their athletic director, Ward Manuel, releasing a statement yesterday saying the school working quickly to hire the next head coach for the program and will do everything possible to keep this current staff together. All right, there you go. Sounds of the past 24 hours or so. Some other sports news. Panther wrestling last night in action. And the Great Bend boys and girls taking on Hayes in Western Athletic Conference duels. Panther boys did quite well. They beat Hayes 45-21. Hayes won 3 of the 4 matches in the lower weights. Tristan Tomlinson at 120 picking up a win. But then Great Bend dominating the upper weights. Caden Hoffman at 132. He won in a decision 6-0. 138, Hayden Kelly getting a win. And then the Panthers from 150 all the way to 285 got wins. Cooper Lyles, Jay Schartz, Michael Montoya, Aiden Davidson, Trent Kern, Matthew Johnson, and Brody Schnoblin all getting wins. The Panthers win that duel 45-21. The Lady Panthers not as fortunate. They were ranked 7th in 5A, 6A, and they ended up dropping their duel to Hayes 43-27. So Kaylee Baldwin picking up a win for the Lady Panthers. 6th-ranked Camden Post she pinned her opponent. Other Great Bend victories last night. Daisy Gomez, ranked number 2 in Class 5A, 6A. She picked up a win with a pin. And then the other 2 winners for Great Bend yesterday, Kiara Stevens and Natalie Daniels. So that was the wrestling yesterday. Carrie Carper's going to be on with us, talk Great Bend Panthers swimming. But I think we're going to talk bowling tomorrow with Coach Feldbauer. And they ended up getting some win yesterday. They hosted Liberal at the Walnut Bowl. Great Bend Panther bowlers. Lady Panthers swept the Redskins 13-zip. Great Bend boys won 11-2. Again, Mike Corson's On the Prowl segment tomorrow will be with David Feldbauer. All right, Sports Day brought to you in part by Eller Automotive Repair. They're a local mechanic that can help. They're located behind Great Bend Appliance Furniture and Sleep Source. American Plains Co-op Bulk Fuel Department, your certified Cenex lubricant dealer in Great Bend. And Next Tech Wireless, experienced wireless, built by Kansans for Kansas. Nathan Brockelman coming in next. We're going to talk Barton wrestling, and then we'll talk Panther basketball. Still a loaded show to come. It's a Wednesday Sports Day show. In a lonely studio, Steve Webster, Landon Winkler with you here on KVGB.
Attention high school juniors. Explore your career paths at Barton Community College's Junior Day on February 14th. This fun and free day features an on-campus tour, giveaways, yard games, pizza, and did we mention $3,000 in scholarships will be up for grabs. Learn about a variety of career paths, some of which can get you into the workforce and making money in just 1 semester. Sign up online now through February 1st at juniorday.bartoncccc.edu.
When it comes to car maintenance, it's good to know a local guy that can get things done. The Eller family has been in the auto repair business in Great Bend forever. Greg Eller continues that long tradition of helping people. Eller Automotive Repair specializes in wheel alignments, oil changes, and general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4 Fridays. Eller Automotive Repair at 915 Morton, right behind Great Bend Appliance, Furniture, and Sleep Source, 10th and Morton.
If you need physical therapy, consider Advanced Therapy in Great Bend and Progressive Therapy in Larned and Hayes.
We had a lady that was having some severe back and hip pain, and we worked with her for about 6 to 7 weeks, and we were able to actually restore greater than 80% of her mobility, and we were able to keep her from actually needing that surgery for about 4 years.
You don't need to hurt. Physical therapy can help. Call Advanced or Progressive Therapy and Sports Medicine to explore your treatment options and get your life back.
Sports Day is presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department. Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Back on Sports Day, Steve Webster riding solo here on the show today. Nathan Brockham will be coming in here momentarily to talk Barton wrestling. Of course, Great Bend basketball still to come, and Kerry Carp will be talking Mike Corson on the Prowl. Now, when Lacrosse Leopards were in here during the football season, head coach John Webster was looking around the studio. We have cards. Let's see. We have trading cards from Topps, all the name brands. Heck, we even got a trading card with Sheriff Brian Bellandier over there. So, we've got playing cards or trading cards for our players. Well, I didn't see Coach over at the Winter Jam in Hoisington, but he stopped by and dropped these off for Randy Gehring. These look pretty cool. Okay, here's Cade Morgan, okay, Lacrosse Leopards. So there you go. He had, that's his solo card, but then to complete your picks here, so you get Cade Morgan, Gage Burke, and who else is that? Okay, that's Connor Behringer. Let's see, where's Connor at? I'll point him out there. Okay, right there. And then Massimo Lari. I think those were the seniors this year. So a senior card. Look at that hair by Gage Burke. I'd give anything to have that. So we have trading cards that we'll put up on the wall here at the studios here, the Mayo Money Management Studios here in Great Bend. Again, Nathan Brockelman coming in. We can tell you the Cougar wrestling team did pick up 4 victories Tuesday in Chanute, but they fell on the short end of both conference duels, taking on 10th-ranked Northwest Tech and the host Neosho County. Cougars getting an early 6-0 match lead in the opener, ensuring a forfeit victory at the 133 before they fell 46-6 to Northwest Tech. Then Neosho was ready to go in the second. They got beat by Northwest Tech 30-18 in their duel, but came back to beat the Cougars by the score of 34-15. Barton back in action next Wednesday. They'll go to Concordia to duel Cloud County and Colby Community College. Avery Wolf securing 2 of the Cougars' 4 wins on the day in the 122 division, first earning an open weight forfeit, giving Barton their lone 6 points against Tech before notching a late second period fall over Neosho County's Tayton Burns. That eventual to even the dual score at 6 apiece. 141, Stephen Baldwin rebounded from an earlier fall. He claimed a 7-4 decision in the nightcap over Jack Swinson of Neosho. That gave Barton its lone lead against Neosho at 9-6. And Ethan Bowles, 157, got the lone exhibition win of the evening. He rattled off 17 unanswered points, claimed a 17-3 major decision after trailing 3-0 early on to Northwest Tech's Dawson Hogan. So Barton Wrestling in action this week. Again, Nathan Brockelman hopefully will be in here in studio in just a moment. So we'll keep the seat warm here as Kyle Cree and Dale Kuhlman will be in to talk Great Bend Panther basketball today. Our show brought to you in part by Equity Bank, more than 40 locations throughout Kansas, including Great Bend, Larned, Maxville, and St. John. Go to equitybank.com. Also in part by the Marmee Auto Group on 10th Street in Great Bend. Landon Winkler, you had a short football career.
I
correct?
did.
So you were telling me how your football career ended, and it ended very early, right? Because you're not a big guy. Okay, and so that usually translates, if you're not a big guy now, you weren't a big guy then. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay, so tell me about the play that ended your football career.
Well, it was the start and end of my football career.
So where is it? Set the stage here?
So I believe it was I think it was middle school. Obviously, in that time during PE, you had to do those required, sports. There was I think there was basketball, there was soccer, there was badminton. Of course, there was, like flag football or something like that. And of course, this big guy about the size of Aaron, about as big and probably a little bit bulkier
And this
too.
is middle school when kids are all different sizes, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So this guy's the big one, right? Okay.
Yeah,
What was his name? Do you remember it?
I think it was Chase. I think that was maybe his middle name. I don't remember. It has been a while. But he's a gentle giant. He felt really bad about it. But in the moment, he had the ball. He was coming down. And for whatever reason, I thought I could try to block him. I don't know why. But he came barreling down like a semi, and I was just a poor little rabbit in the road. And just as soon as I could think, I was on the ground, stars above my head, blacked out, and he was like, "Are you okay?"
So he knocked you out completely, or did you lose consciousness?
I don't know if I lost consciousness, but boy, did I take such a hard hit that I could have gotten a concussion that day. Who knows?
They didn't have concussions back in your day, and they didn't check for those. So that was just in PE class. So you decided at that point, you'd already decided maybe, all right, football's not for me.
Yep, at that point, I decided, even if it's flag football, it's definitely not for me.
Okay. Well, maybe that's the reason why you can't remember his name.
That's
right?
probably it, yep.
So I like that. For some reason, I decided to try to block him. So did you block up high, or did you go down low?
I think I tried to block up high, which was probably my problem, because my up high was probably up to his waist.
Yeah, okay. Well, he gave it the effort. Did you ever take part in the football part of PE class again?
No, I think I tried to stay out of that. I think I tried more in the basketball segment where I feel like I couldn't, get bodied that hard.
Okay, all right. Well, it's football. It's a football unit. PE, that's when you bring the note from mom. Okay, we need to move along here. And so we're going to go Panther basketball again tomorrow night. Panthers in Hayes. Always fun. Aaron Clark will have the call for you starting at 5:45 on B104.3 The Point. Great Bend against Hayes High. Boy, remember last year at the end of the year? Well, they played 3 times, and the game here in Great Bend was amazing. And the Panthers just blew Great Bend. In fact, they led by 27 in the second half, almost got a running clock. Then they went back, final game of the regular season, and Hayes wins a narrow game in front of a packed house at Hayes High. And then they came back 1 week later in the sub-state to play again. Another great game. Hayes wins it on a last-second shot at the buzzer. That still leaves a bitter taste in the mouth of the Panthers. They'll be ready to go tomorrow night. We'll see how ready coming up in just a moment. As we hear from the head coach, Kyle Cree, also Dale Kuhlman in. I want to talk about the old days when he was up at TMP a long time ago. It's all coming up on Sports Day.
Marmy Auto Group makes it happen. Central and Western Kansas. Check out our selection of new and pre-owned inventory. Marmy's friendly staff offers top quality service that you've gotten to know over the years. When your existing vehicle needs parts or service, our experienced team will get you back in the game this season. Marmy Chevrolet, GMC, Ford and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep Ram, parts, service, and body shop. Visit Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street or marmys.net. Marmys, make it happen.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Are you unhappy with your current wireless provider? Well, what are you waiting for? Make the switch to Nextech Wireless. Not only will you get great service and the latest devices, but when you bring your number to us, you pay nothing down. That's right. The taxes and activation fee are on us. Certain restrictions apply. Nextech Wireless. Home on the range.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Amy Herrera, Regional Retail Manager for your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time and I've helped many people navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people. I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you how we're committed to serving you in our communities. At Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
It's time to talk Great Bend High School basketball with head coach Kyle Cree on Sports Day.
Sports Day today brought to you as always by Equity Bank.
It's time to talk Great Bend High School basketball with head coach Kyle Cree on Sports Day.
Get your life back. Time to talk
Back on Sports Day, head coach Kyle Cree joining us in studio. Happy New Year. It's
distinguished assistant.
We start
Dale
season number 2
here on the program
tomorrow,
Welcome
right?
in, guys.
That's kind of the way I always looked at it. You know, because you go, you play the first 6, 7 games, and then you take a break, and then you come back, got these games for tournament play. But here we go.
Line invitation.
Yeah,
we're excited
and happy New Year's to you guys too. You know, we had a good break, and we're excited for our game tomorrow night against Garden City, no doubt about it. Okay, so how do you handle a break? I mean, is there a set strategy from coaches that have tried different things, or I mean, when you can't practice?
Yeah, I mean, I think just giving the guys a break, you know, just letting them be with their families and enjoying that time away from basketball because it is such a grind and such a long season. And
again, Andover game.
So, I mean, I watched some film and started pretty early on Garden City, so I didn't necessarily give them 5 days without hearing from me or anything like that. So I did. We had our scouting report or clips ready to go so they could look at that because I know they – you know, they're with family, but they also got some free time and stuff like that. So just started preparing for Garden, looking at Hutch a little bit. And then, you know, on the 29th when they got back in there, we were running and off to the races.
Cindy Beck kind of talked about it yesterday, how thankful she was that you didn't have to play like a lot of schools, you know, play on Tuesday. You know, you had that little bit extra time in there. That's pretty tough coming back from a really short break and jumping right out there for a Tuesday game.
Yeah, and you know, I know the game's got to be scheduled and stuff like that. And I talked to another coach that, you know, is kind of giving up basketball or anything, but we were kind of talking about how crazy it would be to actually just have 3 days and then be ready to play and stuff like that. So it doesn't seem like playing on January 2nd would be the most logical or reasonable thing to do from a coaching standpoint, but I'm glad that we got a little bit more time to kind of get in shape and review some stuff.
And a smart
Hayes isn't playing until the 12th. That's a really long break.
In the end, we did.
Yeah, that's a questionable decision too. But we'll just let Hayes manage. You know, we'll let Hayes do what they do.
Okay, so what you lay off and things like that. So
my uncle played there and stuff like that. But definitely watched a lot of basketball.
Goes first. I mean, is it execution? Is it just intensity or legs or what is it when you have a layoff over the holidays?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's legs. I mean, if you watched that Barton game last night. You know, I think that first half was a little sluggish and kind of what you expect when you come off of a long break. And there was no doubt they actually had a little bit longer break than we did. So I think, you know, I think the main thing for us is just making sure we get back in the gym and get in shape and get some shots up and really focus on, you know, what's important on our
and we finished with 35
and offensive.
So I mean, to have that many deflections and steals, that's kind of
Kyle Cree with us here on Sports Day today. You reached the break 6-1 overall, ranked 7th in Class 5A. What was the most pleasing thing for you from the first 7 games of the season?
Everyone's doing chin-ups in that.
I mean, you can look at a lot of stats and look at who you beat and stuff like that, but I think from a coaching standpoint, it's kind of cool that
he kind of just laid in there.
Our team has really come together.
It's easy for me to be
critical.
We're
gelling. The team chemistry is awesome.
They were powerful.
We actually had a kid miss a practice over break, and yesterday he had to do a little ham running. And I planned on running him a lot more than what he did. But after a couple sprints. We actually had some upperclassmen that got on the line with him.
They were so excited.
And then everybody else followed. So I think from a coaching standpoint, when you think outside of wins and losses and X's and O's and stats and stuff like that, so it's a total team thing. And
okay, so
stuff like that.
We've talked about stat sheets before. What you look at, what I look at. So I'm kind of looking at the peripherals, you might say. Okay, through the first 7 games, out rebounding your opponent by almost 10 rebounds per game. Your assist to turnover ratios 17 to 12.
A lot of people have actually asked that.
Meanwhile, you're forcing 18 turnovers from your opponents. You're hitting 54% overall from the field. Opponents are shooting 42s.
It's just kind of natural.
The stats show me that you're doing a lot of things right, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, and those are all things that I look at as well. Maybe the thing that we don't want to talk about on there is probably our free throw percentage. So that's definitely so those are all things that we look at, and I think, you know, as me as a coach, I mean, I think rebounding is so important. So the fact that we are able to out-rebound teams like Junction City and Emporia and a little bit below the rim, but Bueller and stuff like that is awesome. But assist to turnover is something that we've also emphasized. And I think our guys have kind of taken pride in.
Almost in the.
I know Carter's one guy that he's kind of gotten to the point where he doesn't care.
But it is. I mean, there are times when
and he wants to get assists and get other guys going. So that's kind of cool. And if Carter can do that, then, you know, some of those young guys
can to talk about B play. You could almost take a stat sheet from somebody and just show me the assist to turnover ratio, and I could just give you. I could probably get in the ballpark of what the record is.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. Yeah, there's a lot of truth to that. I mean, if you look at assist to turnover and rebounding, I mean, if you look at those two things, you can probably
catch it, but there's
kind of figure out who actually won the game.
You had to throw it straight, or it would. You're getting almost 14 offensive rebounds a game, and you're hitting 54%. So there's not a lot of offensive rebounds to get. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and as a quarterback, I'm glad you said that because I'm pretty hard on our guys, especially our guards, Parker,
I mean, that's the reason why we want him to throw the ball in.
Make sure that they are crashing
kind of looked at him and I said,
and that's definitely on our scouting report tomorrow. That's one of our three keys to win. One of them was probably our guard too.
So that the pass was awesome and the ability for a 15-year-old kid to be able to control his body.
Hitting to the line about 16 times a game. That's not bad, but
something like that.
So how do you coach free throws?
So I mean,
I didn't think that would be a big issue this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. It just comes down to
that's what you had drawn up on the board.
Kind of getting over yourself and stuff like that.
I think
I've tried to focus more on maybe shooting free throws after we do like a full court drill, so the guys are shooting those free throws
and those guys are super coachable.
Maybe making them a competition or tracking them. So like if they shoot 10 free throws,
they work very well.
And maybe offensively, defensively. So I mean, the future's bright.
I hated that. Yeah. Okay. We're going to shoot the kids love. Yeah, shoot the free throws after we've been running, and unless you hit like 5 in a row, then you get back on the line.
We do a drill called 30-second free throws. So it's groups of three. So one guy shoots free throws, one guy rebounds last year. The third guy runs.
Let's go back to Tuesday.
And then after you run, then you shoot free throws. And it's kind of a vicious cycle, and I don't think the guys necessarily like it, but it's something that we probably need to do more of so we can kind of improve that shooting percentage.
No, they don't know history.
Back at it, Garden City. There's only just a few years. They were really good last year. It was back to the old place where you played, and you've seen some incredible Garden City high school history.
It's always cool.
Basically, I mean, as far as they got it, then they, they have a new coach, and so tell me about Garden City. This
the only time I don't.
Yeah, I mean, last year they lose 6 seniors and they were 19-1.
It's always nice to go back into the pit.
You know, we played them tough twice. I think we almost got them at home.
If you remember correctly, back in the day,
I think they got us by like 3 or 4
dang near all the schools in our league we had.
So I mean, the Weesey kid on the inside, a kid that you definitely respect.
So I mean,
he's got a lot of leadership qualities that helped him win a lot of games. But this year they've got a little guard, number 5, Emilio, who is very good in transition. He does a good job. Keeping his eyes up and looking for guys running down the court.
I just want to ask you,
and then they've got another guard, Burns, who's very capable. And then they got a big guy that played quite a bit last year, and it doesn't seem like he's getting as many minutes this year.
So Pratt and
but they've got athletes.
And TMP got the ball first every time because Donnie Brown had won the toss, and Pratt ended up winning that game.
We've definitely got to be ready.
I'm trying to think of that guy's name, but
that was the year after I
come in and like shoot a 3-pointer too.
Yeah, he's number 23. Yeah, just some rebounding and stuff like that.
A lot of people in Great Bend area may not know him.
They used to rip him. He could probably if he wanted to.
He was the first freshman to ever play varsity basketball.
So you got Garden City, then Hutch a week from tomorrow. That'll be a fun one back at the field house. Since he's sick today, he's at home. Well, they have it drawn for what made
Salina
Al Billinger
Invitation
there?
out.
How
It's
long was
okay,
he
so
there? I mean,
all
talk
that
about
comes
Al
out
Billinger.
January 10th.
Oh, well, he was the coach there for
all the seating and stuff like that will
40
come
plus
out.
years.
Okay, that's how you get your name.
So you had
For
all
the
these
longest
kids
time,
coming
it was
back,
TMP only had two coaches. It was Al
some of
Billinger
the
and
seniors
Joe
have really stepped up,
They
and
took
I
the
think
span of about
really improved their game, and
60?
so you got your rotation pretty much down the way you want it right now.
We've had a couple guys kind of roll their ankles a little
Big
bit
Al, as we call
over
him,
the break and stuff like that,
he
but
was a
they're
great
healthy
coach.
and stuff like that. But I think we've
He
got to figure it
lacked
out as far as a rotation.
defense. Some would
you know,
say
our top
he
9
really
guys
was
are
kind of
gonna
more in those
rotate them
days.
through, and you know we got
you can score more
thankfully
than
we
the
got
other
guys
team.
that can play guard
That's all you need to
and
do.
play inside.
But
So
great man. Looked
maybe
up
a little
to him,
bit tougher
admired
for
him.
other teams to prepare
And,
for
of course,
us.
then, you know,
I think our top 9 to 10 guys are
Joe
all
Hurt
solid, and we got a good rotation right now.
Okay, one more
Thoughts
thing
on
here.
Whack going in?
What-
Hayes got a
you
win
were
right
right
before the
there when
break over Liberal, and I know on
football
Tuesday
game
night
ended.
Liberal got beat 92
play
to
every year
89.
Then,
Defensive struggle
Hayes-
against
yeah,
Edward, Oklahoma.
So I've been able to watch Hayes, and I watched the Heights game against
Yeah,
them,
because it went.
and Heights
So
is,
what
and they're
happened? I
really
mean, it's
good.
like
They're really
old
disciplined,
rivalries
and,
that have gone
there's
away.
a reason
you
why
see
they're
them, they
at
see
the
them
top
now
6A
and
every year.
Well, unfortunately, when we
But
played
Liberal,
them at
that game the
place,
other night,
my senior
like you
year,
said, not a whole lot of
there was
defense. They came out and tried to
tussle
press a little
on the
bit.
floor
Didn't
with,
necessarily work out
Travis
for them.
Schulte.
And it seemed like
And,
that the team from
another
Oklahoma was
couple
going
of
to pull
Hayes High
away,
players, and then the rest of us
the
got
Pfizer
involved.
kid or the Feezer kid from
Since
Liberal
we had
got hot.
the tussle, I say tussle.
And then they
like
got a
to
Mira
call it a
Montez
fight.
kid that he's kind of a
They just
role
said
guy, but
that
man,
was
he was
it.
all over the place as far as
Just for
assists,
the record, we
steals,
did
and
beat
stuff
him
like
3
that.
times.
So I think
All
Liberals
3 times.
sounds like Hayes
improved
High
from
last
last year.
year. Dodge played
How
guard
much
and playing the other
animosity
night.
was
We were
there?
able to watch that
There
one
was a
too.
lot.
They're struggling a little bit.
Back in
They've
those days,
right? I mean, you
lost
not me,
a lot.
I only went
from
there
2
for high
years
school.
ago.
Okay.
No,
but,
there was a lot. You know,
the Okora kid on
we
the
cut their
inside is
totem
really
pole down,
athletic,
they'd
and
spray
they've
our-
got
You
some
cut the
capable
totem pole
shooters.
down?
my brother's class did in '83.
But I
Yeah,
think
that's why there's a
if we
metal
stick
steel
together
pipe
and
in the middle
keep
of it
working
now.
like we've been doing,
Once
I think
they cut it
we're
down,
definitely
they
capable
put a metal
of
pipe
beating
in it.
every team in the West.
They'd spray
We
paint our
don't
victory
have the
gates. It
bracket,
went
obviously, but talk about the teams that you'll see in
Did the
Salina.
Cutters call
Yeah, I mean, I
Denver
think
when
right
it went
now, just
over,
based
or-
off of kind of my predictions,
I'm not
looking at
naming
everybody's
names.
records, I think right now we would be the 2 seed,
Could have been in our
looking to play
bonfire
either
that
Slime
year,
Central
I-
or
you know.
Bueller again.
When did they be?
The 1 seed right now would probably be Abilene. They're 6-0. Andover at 4-2 is going to be a 3 seed. And then I think Wichita South would be on the same side
That
of
was
the
a
bracket
rivalry.
with
Speaking of
Abilene.
rivalries,
It's always fun to see
Hayes
different
High
teams.
tomorrow night.
Yeah, we're excited. We're ready to go. Our guys are definitely hungry. We've got some clips to maybe use as motivation from last year, but not that we necessarily need it. I mean, it kind of there's still a little bit of bitter taste in our mouth from the way the season ended last year, and we'll be ready to go.
I think that's a game that you go back 1 week earlier. It was like round 1, the place was packed. Of course, round 2, the following week, the place was packed, and you had a couple freshmen out there, thrown in the hostile grounds. And I remember that first game, Ian was, I think he was a little bit tight in that game, as, maybe Jake was too. But then you saw the next, got a little bit more used to it. But those are 2 great basketball games.
Yeah, and they've got another kid that their big guy was a freshman last year, so he's got some experience. And then they got 2 other sophomores that are little brothers of guys that have played at Hayes High. So they got young guys too, but you go back and watch the film and you see Ian, and it's like, my gosh, he was small. Not that he really was, but it's like he was a baby. And the same thing with Jake. Those guys have packed on probably 15 to 20 pounds each. Those guys never take a day off in the weight room. That they've kind of brought Daxton along with them. And if you think about Daxton, this time last year, Daxton was struggling to remember 2 to 3 plays, but this year, oh my gosh, he knows everything. We could put Daxton at point. We could put him on the wing.
As much as I hate to admit it, it's true. Last year he didn't know anything, and this year he's the one that knows it all.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about the 3 sophomores from Hayes and our 3 sophomores, if I had any money, I'd definitely put it on our guys.
What's the same? What's different from Hayes a year ago, guys?
Definitely what's different is just our experience. And I say that even though we're young, we do play a lot of sophomores and freshmen, but they played, Ian and Jake played so much last year that, they're really playing as juniors, if not, seniors.
Right. So, I mean, what's different maybe for Hayes this year from what
I don't
they
think
were
that, overall, I don't know that they are as athletic.
Right.
They lost the Archie kid. Kyrese was number 3. Overall, Vanderway or whatever,
he was
number 15.
unbelievable.
I mean, those 3 guys were athletes. My gosh. So I think overall they're maybe not as athletic, but it seems like this year offensively they're trying to add, like, they run a lot more set plays and
they're well coached, so they will be prepared.
Yep. So
How's Kuhn developed? Is that's a big kid in the middle, right? Or the 6'7"? Reuter.
Yeah.
Kuhn, Reuter.
Yeah, Reuter.
You know, whatever.
He's improved. I mean, his post. I mean, when it goes into the post, I mean, he's got a pretty good chance of finishing that thing. He loves the drop step. He shoots a good hook shot. Maybe take that back to 1980 or 70, whatever the heck you guys were talking about. So he shoots a good hook shot. And then his 3-point shot too. I mean, we got to respect him on the perimeter and stuff like that. So he's a good basketball player, big kid.
Okay, this is a big one for WAC right now. I mean, they've got a couple wins under their belt, and you're sitting there trying to get in there and get in the win column too. So this is a fun time of year. The tournament's over, but we've got conference games the rest of the way. This is a fun part of the season starting tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's fun, and I think all the WAC games are big games. I think we've got to the point where we don't want to lose to any of those guys. Yeah. So it is a big game, but, the message to the guys is it is just one game. We've got 8 other WAC games that we play, so this is really – it's worth half a point. So, it's a WAC game, but, when we go to Liberal next Friday, it's going to be a big game too.
There's always that intensity. I talked to you guys last year when you go down – no matter who you're playing. I mean, in a league like this, everybody knows it. Talk about the intensity and, maybe chippiness, Coach Kuhlman, of a Western Athletic Conference affair.
Oh, there's plenty. And we have chippiness on our side as well. But I think they enjoy that. And for the most part, they don't let it get out of control. They keep it in the right frame of mind. But they use it. They use it to motivate themselves to get prepared for whoever we're playing for. And, I know we're away again tomorrow, but, it'll be nice here in February. Finally get to come home, play some home games. And I think that's going to help a lot as well to keep moving in the right direction like we are. And like he says, it's going to be grueling WAC schedule from here on out.
Well, here we go, Kyle.
It's kind of like the Big 12. You can't sleep on anybody, and the road games are tough, and the home games will be tough as well.
Feelings going into this one, Kyle?
I'm ready to go. I mean, I think I've been waiting on this game since February 23rd of 2023. And I've used it as motivation, when there's days when I'm like, I'm a little bit tired or maybe feeling sorry for myself. I just use it as motivation. I go back and I watch that last 5 minutes of that game, and we're going to use some of those clips today to motivate the guys. And it's going to be a dogfight, but that's what we sign up for, and we're going to be ready.
Guys, thanks for coming in. Coach, it's always good to see you. I remember the first time I saw you. Yeah, I was 29 years old.
How old was Kuhlman?
I don't know. He was like the assistant to the assistant back in those days.
He was probably like 24.
Little puppy face. Yeah,
yeah.
I still got a puppy face.
Yeah, he is. He's looking good.
Thanks for the trip down memory lane, Kyle. Good luck tomorrow night. We'll see you next week.
All right,
okay.
Thank you, guys.
Oh wait, I'm gone next week. So
you're gonna be there tomorrow, right? Do you need to ride the bus? Like, do you need to ride there? Like, if they're taking your driver's license, like, we need you there, Webby. Come on, man.
We'll work on it, okay?
Okay, all right.
That's Sports Day here with Great Bend Panther basketball. We'll have more coming up.
From the Mayo Money Management Studios, 1590 KVGB, Great Bend, and 95.5 FM K238CK, Hoisington.
Smart stays on the road. That's why it's in your engine. Cenex Maxtron synthetic diesel engine oils give you the smartest oil for the toughest conditions. These premium oils maintain 80% of their viscosity throughout the drain interval for superior engine performance across extreme temperatures. That horizon looks good with the competition behind you. Cenex Maxtron diesel engine oils. Oil that runs smart.
Contact American Plains Co-op Fuel Department in Great Bend, your certified Cenex distributor today.
Attention high school juniors, explore your career paths at Barton Community College's Junior Day on February 14th. This fun and free day features an on-campus tour, giveaways, yard games, pizza, and did we mention $3,000 in scholarships will be up for grabs. Learn about a variety of career paths, some of which can get you into the workforce and making money in just one semester. Sign up online now through February 1st at juniorday.bartoncc.edu.
Sports Day presents On the Prowl with Mike Corson, an inside look at all the sports taking place at Great Bend High School.
Welcome back to Sports Day, 1590 KVGB 95.5 FM. Mike Corson joined today. Happy New Year, swim coach Carrie Carper.
Thank you. You as well.
Yeah, strange thing. So most teams, I mean, there were basketball games, I think, on January 2nd. Have you ever gone, I think it was the 23rd before you guys got to swim, ever gone that long after a New Year without competition?
No, usually we go a good 3 weeks before competition, but this year we were, I think, 4.5 weeks out before we had a competition. So the guys were definitely ready to get back in the pool as far as competitions go. We've been training real hard over those 4.5 weeks, working on some technique, trying to get a few things worked out. But they were definitely ready to get back in the pool on Monday for our home meet.
Yeah, and I know you guys, before the break, maybe talking about some health issues and stuff. Is that actually, that 4.5 weeks, pretty good for you guys to heal up and do whatever you need to do?
I was hoping that was going to be the case, but that really wasn't the case. I had a couple more guys go down with some pretty severe swimmer's ear infections, and the cold stuff that has hit everybody else has also hit a couple of the guys. So we've kind of been struggling with some of that, and guys just not feeling well. But I think that it hopefully has passed through, and we are on the mends and ready to swim hard next week again.
Well, we like to learn about swimming on the program. Last year we learned all kinds of stuff. I had not heard about swimmer's ear, so what is that?
Basically, it's an ear infection, a bacterial ear infection that happens on the outer part of your ear. Water just kind of pulls up by your eardrum, and then it causes bacteria to grow. It is extremely painful. It typically takes antibiotic ear drops to get over, and then once they get the drops, it's usually a good, I'd say, 5 to 7 days before they can get back in the water. So when a guy gets that, it is not good because they're typically out for at least a week.
Ouch. Yeah, so we already say swimmers are the toughest high school sport, so you're adding to the case.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So we can talk about the home meet. You guys were at Barton on Monday, 287 points for 4th place out of 5 teams. First meet out in 4 weeks. Anything that stands out, or were you pleased overall?
I was very happy with the way the guys performed. We had talked about how hard we'd been training. They hadn't been in the pool for over a month, and they were ready to swim. We had a lot of nerves that we hadn't had since the beginning of the season because it had been so long since they competed. So we just kind of talked through that, talked about some visualization of races, and just to get in there and leave it all in the pool, especially for our seniors since it was senior recognition. And I would say all the hard training that we've done over the last 4 weeks really paid off because we had some really big time cuts all the way around. Dylan, he's one of our freshmen that came out at the beginning of the season. He was barely making a 25. And he cut, I believe it was like 5 seconds in the 50 free, and then he turned around and cut several more seconds in the 100 back. So we were super happy with that. And then on Tuesday in Hutch, he turned around and cut another 2 seconds off his 50 free. So that's what we like to see.
Is that a technique thing, or is that at this point, or is that conditioning still?
With a new swimmer like that, it is definitely both. We worked a lot on his technique. We just worked a lot on cranking out yards and getting that endurance built up so that he had more stamina. And I would say it definitely paid off for him and most of the other guys too.
Casey Kennedy, kind of a big day at home. What is it, 3rd place in the 200 medley relay and a couple other top 3, top 4 finishes in his individual events.
Yeah, he's kind of struggling this year. As you know from last year, the 100 butterfly and the 200 IM are kind of his events. But with the stuff that he's got going on this year, butterfly really causes a lot of pain for him to swim. So we're just kind of trying him in some events just to kind of see, what doesn't cause him to hurt and be in pain, and then, secondly, what can you swim that you can be successful in. So we know that he can swim the 50, the 100 free, and then the 100 breaststroke without causing pain. So I think that's going to be kind of where we focus with him. It's just kind of on that 100 breaststroke for WAC.
Talking to Panther swim coach Carrie Carper. Yeah, so you guys go from no action to a home meet on Monday, Hutchinson on Tuesday. Is that tough for swimmers?
No, that is hard. Yeah, that is hard for swimmers. I talked to him on Tuesday, and I said, hey, guys, look. I'm not expecting huge time cuts again today. We had huge time cuts yesterday at home. A lot of you are swimming your off events because I don't like to swim them in the same events when we have back-to-back meets like that. So we were swimming off events. They were tired. But on Tuesday, they turned around and they dropped massive time again on Tuesday. So I was really happy to see that. I think we maybe had 2 swims that were not time cuts. I think every other swim that we had was a big time cut. So I was really pleased with that. The guys were pretty fired up about that. So we just need to keep the momentum going into next week and into WAC.
And as I say, speaking of times, you're getting into the late parts of the season. Has anybody met? I don't think anybody's met state consideration yet.
No, we're not. We don't have any consideration times yet. We're getting closer. Every meet, we get closer in the 200 medley relay and the 200 free relay. And Casey's getting closer. Casey and Adam both are getting close in their 50 free. And Casey's pretty close in the 100 free. So we're going to try to at least get those consideration times in these next 3 meets.
And what does that involve? I know last year the girls talked about there's some tapering down, and then you come back, and then there's also the expensive suits. Any or all of that?
All of that. So next week we have 2 more meets on Wednesday, Thursday next week. And then Friday we'll kind of start tapering, which just consists of, talking about nutrition, making sure we're eating healthy, making sure we're sleeping, making sure that we're not getting sick, drinking lots of water. We back down on the yards. Each day we kind of decrease the amount of yards that we do just so that when we go into WAC, they are completely rested and ready to perform at their highest. A lot of the guys wear tech suits. I do have several of them that probably won't have tech suits this year, but that definitely plays a role in those time drops as well, just because of the design of those tech suits. That's what they're made to do.
Panther swim coach Carrie Carper, it took a little while to get to you in 2024, but Happy New Year, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right, thank you.
More Sports Day after this.
Hey everyone, this is Cole Wright, voice of the Barton Cougars. Attending sporting events for Barton Community College is great, but did you know you can support the athletic teams even further by getting involved with the Cougar Booster Club? The Boosters help with fundraising for equipment and facility upgrades to give Barton athletes every opportunity to keep succeeding at the regional and national levels. Join the Cougar Booster Club as an individual or business. Call 620-792-9377. Become a booster today. Go Cougars.
Venture Corporation is a homegrown company with almost 50 years of experience in asphalt, paving, and construction, and they need equipment operators, mechanics, and CDL drivers. Venture offers many benefits, including 401k and Blue Cross Blue Shield health insurance. Call Leslie for all the details. Work for a family-owned and family-oriented company that is here today and will be here in the future. Venture Corporation, South Highway 281, Great Bend, is an equal opportunity employer.
It's Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Thursday Sports Day show. Steve Webster riding solo today, along with producer Landon Winkler on the program. Hey, a lot of great sponsors bring you Sports Day on a daily basis, including Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department, but also the Cougar Booster Club, where they're continuing their efforts to make the Barton Athletic Department the best in the country. Also, by Venture Corporation, reminding you to help a neighbor, shop local when you can. By the Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street in Great Bend. Equity Bank, more than 40 locations throughout Kansas, including Great Bend, Larned, Maxville, and St. John. Just go to equitybank.com to find out more. Next Tech Wireless, experience wireless built by Kansans for Kansas, and the American Plains Co-op Bulk Fuel Department. They are your certified Cenex lubricant dealer in Great Bend. Okay, wrestling rankings out this week. Of course, Great Bend boys and girls in action last night. 5A boys, Great Bend Panthers locked into that number 6 position again this week. Panther wrestlers who are ranked include Tristan Tomlinson, sophomore, at 120. Caden Hoffman, a senior, at 132. Jay Schartz, junior, ranked 3rd at 157. Trenton Kern, sophomore, he's ranked 3rd at 190. At 215, Matthew Johnson, the senior, having a good year, coming back, trying to battle back from an injury. He's still ranked 5th at 215. And Brody Schnoblin, the junior, is ranked number 6 at 285. Area ranked wrestlers in 321A. Russell ranked 7th this week in the top 10 poll. Larned checking in at number 9. Jyshawn George, a junior from Larned, currently ranked number 2 at 106. Jace Grizzle from Lyons, he's just a freshman, ranked number 4 at 120. You have Josiah Ball, he's been at number 1 all year at 138, the senior from Hoisington. Tegan Pfeiffer, junior from Russell, number 2 at 165. Braden Suki, a junior, ranked number 5 at 175. And Taryn Kraft hanging in the top 6. He's ranked 6th this week, the junior from Hoisington. And Luke Fisher continues to have an outstanding season and looking to repeat at 215, the number 1 ranked wrestler in the state. On the girls' side, Great Bend ranked 7th. They lost to number 10 ranked Hayes last night in that Western Athletic Conference duel. Area wrestlers who are ranked, well, they'd be all Great Bend in this case. Camden Post, just a freshman, ranked number 6 at 105. Kaylee McMullen, sophomore, ranked number 3 at 125. Daisy Gomez, winning again last night in her match in the duel with Hayes. She's ranked number 2 at 130. Cody Best, junior from Topeka Seaman, ranked number 1 at 130. And then Natalie Daniels, sophomore, number 2 right now at 190. 4 through 1A girls rankings. No one from the area ranked in the top 10. I guess Pratt is number 3. They won the CKL title earlier this week at that meet at Nickerson. Daja Jones, senior from Hoisington, number 3 at 130. Alexa Guzman, a senior from Lyons, is ranked number 5 at 130. Then you have Jaden Nye, junior from Russell, number 1 at 145. And Lyrica Orozco, senior from Hoisington, hanging in there at number 5 at 145. And Haley Halinde, sophomore from Hoisington, currently number 4 at 235. High school basketball season, we're done with tournament week for the most part. There are some girls' tournaments taking place, but around here it's back to business. And for the Great Bend Panthers, they start the first of 7 straight WAC games to close out the regular season. Again, they will be in Hayes tomorrow night. Central Kansas League tomorrow night. Both Larned and Hoisington have the night off. Hoisington will be back next Tuesday as they will be taking on Heston. Central Prairie League tonight, St. John. It's a makeup game from one that was weathered out earlier this year. St. John travels to Ness City to take on the Eagles tonight. And Central Plains tomorrow night. Travel down to Maxville to take on the Mustangs. Lions will be at Ellenwood tomorrow. Sylvan Lucas at Otis Bison. Victoria is at La Crosse. And some other area games. Russell's at Goodland, TMP at Abilene, Ellsworth playing at southeast of Saline. And at Ness City tomorrow night, back to the CPL. They will be at Wheatland Grinnell, so back-to-back games for Ness City tonight at home against St. John and tomorrow at Wheatland Grinnell. KBCA basketball rankings are out, and 2A boys, Sterling is number 3 in 2A. 1A Division I, Central Plains number 6, Hodgman County number 7, La Crosse number 9, Maxville is number 10. And 1A Division II, boys, no one from the area is ranked. Pawnee Heights was, but they dropped out of the rankings this week. On the girls' side, Slim Pickens, Great Bend, number 9 in Class 5A as they head to Hayes High tomorrow night. The Pratt girls are number 10 in 4A girls. And then just one other area team that is ranked this week. That's in 1A Division I, where St. John, the Lady Tigers, under head coach Danny Smith, number 5. Little River remains number 1 in 1A D1, followed by Clifton Clyde, South Gray, Frankfort, and then you have St. John right there. Okay, so high school basketball tomorrow night, Panthers and Hayes High, B1043 The Point. Aaron Clark will have it for you on B1043 The Point. Thanks to Landon Winkler for joining me in studio today. Back tomorrow for the Friday edition of Sports Day on KVGB.